How are y'all doing today? So, did you know that over half of the U.S. states have legalized marijuana either for recreational use or medicinal use? Specifically, 11 of these states, or 10 of these states, plus Washington, D.C., have legalized marijuana for recreational use. These states include California, Oregon, Washington, Michigan, Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, Colorado, Nevada, and Alaska. So the legalization of marijuana will bring improvements in mental health and physical health for individuals in the United States, but also on a broader scheme will bring an influx of money into the United States economy. So perhaps the most commonly used argument for legalizing recreational marijuana federally is that states will bring in more and more tax revenue. For example, in 2018, Colorado imposed a 15% excise tax on marijuana from cultivator to distributor, and then an additional 15% sales tax on buyers. In 2018, Colorado's cannabis sales topped $1.2 billion, with about $240 million going straight to the state government. To put this into perspective, Colorado alcohol sales that year were just a measly $45 million. Now, New Frontier data is a new data source that researchers are using to kind of predict the behavior of the marijuana market and marijuana users through the next 15 to 20 years. So New Frontier data predicts that the cannabis market will grow to $225 billion by the year 2025, and that was billion with a B. So in addition to kind of the money influx that marijuana will bring, it also brings lots of health benefits. Cannabis oil, which is a chemical found in marijuana, has been being used in illness treatments for over 3,000 years now. And just 2 years ago, in 2018, the FDA deemed cannabis oil, CBD, or also known as CBD, legal for use and legal for treating illnesses. So some common health complications that marijuana and this cannabis oil is used for include chronic pain, alcoholism, depression, PTSD, social anxiety, cancer, and epilepsy. Now, chronic pain is the number one cause in disabilities in the United States, and over 25 million adults have been diagnosed with having chronic pains leading to disabilities. Cannabis oil has been found to have a direct effect on kind of helping or diminishing the pain to some of these chronic pains. So we've seen a large increase in the use of marijuana for chronic pain patients. Another popular, or I guess common use for marijuana is for curing alcoholism or other harder drug addictions. So marijuana kind of provides these users a safer outlet to kind of finding this stimulant, because marijuana has less severe side effects than some of the harder drugs do. So those users who are still looking for this high can still get it in a much safer way, though. Marijuana also has helped people over the years with mental health problems in addition to their physical problems. These mental health problems include depression, PTSD, and social anxiety. Now, studies have proved that marijuana has a direct cause and effect on depression and PTSD, which is why you see lots of veterans and ex-military members using it. However, there's no clear relationship with marijuana and social anxiety, as there have been studies that have proved a positive cause and effect and others that have proved a negative cause and effect. So cancer was a big one when I was researching positive effects of marijuana use. So evidence suggests that marijuana is effective in curing some of chemotherapy's side effects, which include nausea and vomiting. And they also took it one step beyond this, and they found that the CBD oil even slows the growth or can kill off some cancerous cells. Now, epilepsy was the number one way the U.S. was Epilepsy was the number one illness I found that marijuana was used for. And in 2018, the cannabis oil was also found to help with 2 of the most severe epilepsy, I guess, branches. And throughout all of 2017, a study was used on CBD to kind of prove this effect. CBD and both a placebo and a CBD was administered to a number of different kids showing epilepsy, and the CBD was able to diminish a large number of the seizures, much more than the placebo did. So marijuana has always been kind of viewed as dangerous to our society, at least up until the last decade or so. Why is probably the question you're thinking. This is because marijuana has lots of long-term effects. These long-term effects include memory loss, lower dopamine levels, heart conditions, pregnancy problems, and increased risk of addiction. So, obviously, marijuana has its pros and it has its cons. So, to conclude, although marijuana has been viewed for so long as a negative to our society, and especially to our parents' generation, maybe being referred to as the devil's lettuce, there are a lot of good it can bring. And obviously, there's bad it can bring as well. However, we'll never really know the true good and the true potential that we can reach if we never implement legal marijuana for recreational use federally. Thank you. Stay safe. Wash your hands.